Hello everyone, my name is Cletus and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, because guys, the like button does fetch us honorable members of the clan. To find the clan and become a member, they come with their two IQs, rub them together and spark their own opinions about whatever is going on in the North Gauteng High Court. But today we are not going to be talking about the North Gauteng High Court or the Senzo Mewa murder trial. But we are going to shift gears just for today. Just for today. And it is because of you. You guys are asking me questions about my own thoughts regarding post-elections results and the developments that are going on and the proposal by the ANC regarding government of national unity. And I was like, but my channel is not a political channel. I don't talk about politics. Then I remembered when I was in high school, one of my very intelligent teachers said to me, actually not just say to me, just told the class that one of the ways of demonstrating that you are intelligent is by talking about 4 topics: politics, science, economy, as well as just other general issues that are surrounding and people are living in day-to-day life by making your own opinion. That way people will respect you and see you as a person that is worth talking to. So I thought about that and I was like, okay, not that I am saying I'm intelligent or I'm claiming to be intelligent, but I do believe that I have some level of intelligence. Hence I got my 2 IQs, I rub them together, and I spark my own thoughts. So yes, I do have a thought about the post-elections 2024 developments that are happening. Of course, as we all know, there's no outright winner after the elections. The people of South Africa put themselves first this time around. They said, we are putting ourselves first, and now we are going to be looking at who is the person or the political party that always had the best interest of South Africans at heart. And by the look of things, things are looking bleak for South Africans because political parties are showing their true colors. I believe that post-elections and the ANC did not see this one coming, that they would drop to about 40% of the national election results. I know it's like 41 point something or 40 something point something the results, but nonetheless it's below 50. It's below a majority. Or is it below 50 plus 1? Some power that they can take into parliament with them and do what they need to do. Guys, before I get too far with this video, first let me make a disclaimer or two. First of all, let me just read my disclaimers, because I know I put something down. My first disclaimer is I am not a politician, a political scientist, a couch political analyst, or a street politician. Disclaimer number 2, this video is not an invitation for political astute people, political conspirators, political academics, or even political couch analysts. And definitely not for politically immature, politically intolerant, and politically emotional or sentimental, or political figure worshippers. So basically, the last disclaimer, my channel is not a political channel. We don't deal with politics. We talk about the Senzo Mewa murder trial. But because some of you have been asking me, I'm not quite sure if you are throwing a long rope for me, like how the ANC has done with the political parties, which we are going to talk about. But anyways, let's get to my thoughts, okay? So I want to remind you that this is my opinion. My opinion. Let's just, maybe before I go further. Oh yeah, the last disclaimer, this video is going to be podcast style, so there will be less editing. Everything is just going to be raw as they come. If I pause, make mistakes, and things like that, you will get to see them. So let's see, or let's look at what the word opinion means so that we can start this on the right track, because there are some people who are ready with their politically astute knowledge and they want to disagree. I want to let you know right now, if Anything I say you happen to disagree with, listen, you don't have to write a comment. Fine, you disagree. I'm with you there. All right? So basically, the dictionary says an opinion. An opinion is a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on facts or knowledge. That, in my opinion, is right. So don't come and say, I disagree with you or you are wrong. It's my opinion. Whether I'm right or wrong, it's still an opinion. So that's for those that are always ready to want to do, especially the pseudo intellects. They're the most irritating people on earth. They know who they are. They always wait for that opportunity to be stupid, but think they are being smart. Don't convince yourself to be intelligent when you know you are not. You are just trying to convince yourself of that. This is not about that. This is my opinion and my experiences as well as my observations of what is happening. I am a South African citizen. I live in this country and I see things in this country. And if you're going to take things at a academic or level or whatever it is that it's in your head about politics, please. And if you are politically sensitive and politically sentimental and you worship political figures, definitely this video is not for you, because I'm going to be scathing in some parts of this video. I'm discriminative of whatever political party I'm going to talk about. It's my opinion. All right, I hope we understand each other there. So now, well, after the elections, of course, the ANC found itself in a dire strait regarding, in fact, they're dumbfounded. Like, how did this happen? I mean, we heard audios that were leaked, even old women and old men called Izinja, which kind of like tells you the type of political party this is. I know there'll be those that not all of that. I know not all of you, but the way things have been going for the past 30 years in this country, clearly we've been treated like dogs, specifically Zinja. So it's just that the result brought out some few people that were able to say that. Secondly, guys, I am a South African citizen. I am what I would call a late Gen X, early millennial. I'm a Gen X millennial. If you know, you know. So in most cases, what I'm going to talk about, I am going to mention generations like from the boomers all the way to the Gen Zs, because the Gen Zs for me are the hope of this country. Let me tell you that. Dumb as they are, some of them, or most of them, but they're not stupid. You know, there's a difference between being dumb and stupid. Yeah, let's go with that. So I have my notes down here, and sometimes I'm going to be reading from them. As you guys already know, I always have a script in front of me, and I need to do this very quickly because I have a dinner party that I have to attend very soon. Okay, let's start here. Oh yeah, just a small note that I wrote here. I said, lastly, because this is an opinion piece, if you feel you disagree with me, just know from onset that I don't need to hear how you disagree with me. I won't bother to read your comments, okay? This is just administrative stuff that I'm doing right now. We will get to the meat of my thoughts. And then I do say, however, I do encourage sensible, mature, and respectful discussions that are aimed at educating, informing, and critical thinking. Anything outside this, you will get hidden from the channel, aka blocked. Lastly, this channel is not a political channel. However, I was asked about my thoughts post-election developments, and here is my opinion. Now we start here. So I understand that back in 1994, after the 1994 elections, the Nelson Mandela government actually invited the Apartheid National Party to form a government of national unity together with the IFP, where we saw FW declared the last president of the apartheid government party, the National Party, became the executive deputy president or vice president. And then there was a second deputy president, I think, in the government of national unity. I hope with this one we're not going to have two deputy presidents. One is enough. One is enough. And I'm going to be making a statement about the size of the cabinet in this opinion piece. So, what we had that, did it work? And some people feel it did work. Some people feel there was a Trojan horse effect that took place in the government of national unity under Nelson Mandela, because there were some key ministerial positions that were given to the former apartheid lieutenants who became ministers in the Nelson Mandela government. And as a result of that, the rest of the governance that transpired since Thabo Mbeki to date were messed up deliberately by those apartheid lieutenants, particularly when it comes to parastatals. I don't know if these are excuses or inaptitudes or something or if it was real at all. I don't know, but at the end of the day, we did have the ANC running this country for the past 3 decades. Whether they worked for you, I don't know. Whether they did not work for you, I don't know. In my experience, they've done nothing. My opinion, my observation, and my experience. But then again, there are lots of questions about what is a government of a national unity. So I don't know what the definition. Guys, I'm doing this as blind as you are about this. We're gonna just be using a lot of this Google thing. What is a government? Okay, a government of national unity. Okay, let's see what Google says about government of national unity. There is not much. Okay, what is the full? Okay, there we go. National unity is the process of bringing together a variety of individuals from distinct cultural, ethnic, tribal, and social backgrounds in a specific setting or polity for a common good. I guess the operative word here is for common good. Now, we know in South Africa we have the right wing, we have the left wing, and then we have those that are in the middle. The right wingers, apparently, they are the DA. And the left wingers, apparently, those are the EFF. And then you have those that are in the middle. They are neither left nor right, but they do incorporate both of these ideologies in their own policies. Some may even call them social democracy or democratics. Some may even call them fence sitters or something like that. So in South African politics, I understand that we also have people like that. It's just that with the ANC, one does not know if it's a socialist, communist, or it is a capitalist or whatever. It's just a mixed masala that is going on there. But I would assume that the ANC is a social democrat or democratic political party and things like that. I will also say that the DA as well does show, even though there are some right-wing policies that make me very uncomfortable, I will be honest. And honestly speaking, I do not trust the DA for as far as I can spit, as well as I do not trust the economic freedom fighters for as far as I can throw. Oh, you guys already know how I feel about the ANC. I grew up, I'm a child of the ANC, and the principles and the values that were taught to me as a child of the ANC, none of them are being practiced by the people that are claiming to be ANC today. We know who the real ANC are, the children of the ANC, and we know who are not. And they are the ones that are occupying positions in this political party And I do believe they are the ones that are responsible for this 40% election results that the ANC has gotten. The ANC will have to sit down and make some serious evaluation. Find the children of the ANC. Those are the people that are going to take the ANC back to its glory days. I'm just saying. All right. And then, of course, we have MK, who also I don't trust very much. I feel like this was a strategy by Jacob Zuma and them, that because they foresaw that the ANC is going to lose elections, and so they pretended, or I'm not sure if it's a pretense or it's real, but I think there are a bit of, in my opinion, there is a bit of pretense as well as reality. You must also remember that the former president is engulfed with legal issues in his life, and possibly he could use the MK and the power that they've got. They've got 58 seats in parliament, the biggest seats in parliament in the history of a breakaway political party from the ANC. If you remember with Cope got about 30 seats when he broke out from the ANC. When the EFF formed its own political party, I think the highest that they've gotten was 44 seats. MK, 58, that is the largest in the history of political parties that formed from inside the ANC, which is quite interesting. So I feel like maybe this was a strategy to say, well, we foresee that the ANC is going to struggle in the next elections. Let's form this party, but it's going to be a bargaining chip to get rid of the legal issues that the former president may have, because I think those things are going to be put on the table as they discuss the government of national unity, if they want the MK, which is Umkhonto weSizwe political party, to be part of this government. So it's going to be quite interesting. And then you have IFP. I'm very impressed with the IFP right now. I'm not an IFP supporter or a voter. Never have, never will be. However, give credit where credit is due. That political party has shown interests and the best interest of the people of South Africa, and putting it first by not rejecting the proposal by Ramaphosa for the government of national unity. They said that they are going to sit down and have a conversation with the ANC. Now, earlier on, I mentioned that the ANC was quite smart with this proposal, because to me, it looks like it is a long rope that they have given the other political parties basically to hang themselves. What do I mean by that? Like, you voted us out of power because you believed that the DA, the EFF, the MK, the PA, Action SA, etc., and so on, had your best interest at heart. Let us show you how greedy and position mongers that they are. And indeed, that is what they are showing post the proposal. Because if you look at the definition of national unity, the operative word here is for a good, for a common good, for a common good. Yes, like I said earlier, there's a mixed masala type of ideologies that South African politics has. You have the right wings and you have the left wing, and you have those that are in the middle, and others that are spilled outside of these ideologies. And then now, what is the common good for the people of South Africa? And the ANC was like, well, we are proposing a government of national unity. Now, let's see what these political parties that you voted for are going to do about it. Are they going to put you first? Let me remind you that the EFF, prior to the elections, not once but twice, its president, as well as the former spokesperson, told South Africans dead in the eye that they will never put South Africans first, ever. And I was like, whoo, I don't think you are going to get votes after this, because South Africans for the longest time have been begging and begging and begging to be put first. If you want to see how South Africans are not put first, I will send you to one place, and one place only. Go to our hospitals. A South African is always right at the back of the line and may never see the doctor. Why? Because South Africans are not put first. I'm just giving an example. And then if you go to our police stations, you go open a case against a drug pusher who's not a South African citizen, guess who gets arrested for a crime they did not commit? Because the police or the station commander is in the pocket of the drug dealer, smears you, the complainant, with a case so that they shut you up. And next thing, you are in prison for a crime you did not commit. So these are the things that South Africans have been crying about. We've been crying about drugs. We've been crying about borders. We've been crying about safety and security of this country. We've been crying about health. We've been crying about education. We've been crying about jobs. We've been crying about so many things, but nobody was listening to us. And now these political parties have an opportunity to show the people of South Africa that South Africans come first. But thus far, apart from the IFP, all I see is power mongering. Oh, we reject. Oh, how do you reject something you have not given a chance to first? Because before you even reject, I get it. Oh, there's the enemy. Ooh, the enemy. South Africans are not eating enemies. South Africans don't wake up in the morning eating ideology from your political party. South Africans are looking for a solution on how to improve their lives. South Africans are crying about jobs. Why don't you say, we are going to go into that government of national unity, holding in under our arms the solutions for the people of South Africa? Oh, the DA, the EFF. Where are you putting South Africans first in that? Give it a chance, but I do have a solution towards the end of my rant. But I also thought that in order for us to understand how a government is formulated, everything stems from the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, which I'm going to read some few things that I feel need to, ought to be had at the back of our mind as these people are busy hanging themselves, as the ANC is giving them the wrong rope to hang themselves. As a South African citizen who has voted and who is going to be eligible to vote in the local government elections in 2026, which is 2 years down the line, have your eyes peeled and listen with your ears and sharpen your brain, because this is the information you're going to have to use when you vote in the local government elections in 2026. See the people right now that has your best interests at heart, not their own and their own emotional feelings about certain ideologies and certain other people, and not having the common good and the common purpose for the people of South Africa. All right. Now, I want us to go to section 19 of the Constitution. I think that is chapter 3 of the Constitution. We move away today from the Bill of Rights because it's important that we get to understand these things, okay? So section 19, basically, it is the political rights. It says, section 19, subsection 1, every citizen is free to make political choices, which includes the right, A, to form a political party, B, to participate in the activities of or recruit members for or political party, and C, to campaign for a political party or cause. Subsection 2, every citizen has the right to free, fair, and regular elections for any legislative body established in terms of the Constitution. Subsection 3, every adult citizen has the right, A, to vote in elections for any legislative body established in terms of the Constitution and do so in secret, and B, to stand for public office and, if elected, to hold office. Okay, that is very important for us to understand as a base as to why you went and went and voted. Secondly, I noticed that this time around the IEC did South Africans really, really bad. And I think the ANC took the brunt for this. But then again, the ANC shot itself on the foot because the IEC, the people that are in charge of the IEC, they are the cadres of the ANC. So this time around, I did not see any voter education where you had the Gen Zs. Now, your Gen Zs are the little ones that were born between 1990 up to 2010 or 2009. These are the Gen Zs, and most of them were eligible to vote for the first time. Maybe for the first time, they were eligible to vote in these elections. Now, us, the millennials and the Gen Xers, we are the children of the baby boomers, the very people that messed up the Republic of South Africa. The ones that are sitting inside parliament, the ones that don't know what is fourth industrial revolution. The same ones that don't possess a matric certificate. And yet they are lawmakers in our parliament, and they are so out of touch with the rest of the South African citizens. That is why today we are where we are. Now, one thing that I like about the Gen Zs is because they are holding the millennials and the Gen Xers accountable. Therefore, the Gen Xers, when they went to vote this time around, because they Gen Z children are holding them accountable, said, well, ANC, well, we had a good ride with you, but you did not do anything for us. And my child here, the Gen Z, is suffering, and therefore I am removing you from power. That is why you had those, those ANC women calling Gogobase Ward 93 Izinja. That is exactly what was happening, in case you were not noticing. Now that was chapter 2. Now let's go, because section 19 is a fundamental right. I'm so sorry about that. But let's go to chapter 3, cooperative government. But let's focus on section 40 and section 41. Guys, be patient with me with this one, because we got to learn these things. We have to learn. Chapter 3, cooperative government, the government of the Republic, section 40, subsection 1. In the Republic, government is constituted as national, provincial, and local spheres of government, which are distinctive, independent, and interrelated. Subsection 2, all spheres of government must observe and adhere to the principles in this chapter and must conduct their activities within the parameters that the chapters provide. Okay? Just switching off the heater here. And then section 40, subsection 1, the heading is Principles of Cooperative Government and Intergovernmental Relations. Subsection 1 says, all spheres of government and all organs of state within each sphere must A, preserve the peace, national unity, and the individuality of the Republic. B, secure the well-being of the people of the Republic, putting the people first. C, provide effective, transparent, accountable, and coherent government for the Republic as a whole. D, be loyal to the Constitution, the Republic, and its people. E, respect the constitutional status, institutions, powers, and functions of government in the other spheres. F, not assume any power or function except those conferred on them in terms of the Constitution. G, exercise their powers and perform their functions in manner that does not encroach on the geographical, functional, or institutional integrity of government in another sphere. And H, cooperate with one another in mutual trust and good faith by Roman figure 1, fostering friendly relations, Roman figure 2, assisting and supporting one another, Roman figure 3, informing one another of and consulting one another on matters of common interest, Roman figure 4, coordinating their actions and legislation with one another. Roman figure 5, adhering to agreed procedures, and Roman figure 6, avoiding legal proceedings against one another. These are the spheres of government where the judiciary is not allowed to interfere with the executive. The executive is not allowed to interfere with the local government, and etc. It just goes around like that. That is chapter 3, section 40 and section 41. Okay, now let's talk about the results of the 2024 elections. ANC taking 40% of the national election result, giving them the upper hand to decide who they are going to work with, since they did not win the elections outright. In my opinion, this is where South Africans must have their eyes peeled and brains sharpened, as I said. You've shown these political parties that you come first, okay? Now look who has your best interest at heart and mark them. 2 years from now, we are going to local government elections. ANC's proposal for government of national unity literally threw a long rope for other parties to expose themselves and their true colors when it comes to putting South Africans first. Thus far, the only political party I've seen and I heard that is not objecting to the government of national unity is the IFP. The rest has shown their true colors and busy showing their true colors. I can't help but wonder, where is this taking South Africans, those that are rejecting this proposal? Because as far as I am concerned, I think this proposal is good, even though it is marred with manipulation from the ANC, so that 5 years down the line, we remember this. What they did that was kind for other political parties to come and join the government of national unity. However, though, my only concern is opposition. Who's going to hold accountable the government of national unity? But I have a solution, because I feel there needs to be a provision which says the citizens of South Africa must have a say, either in a referendum or in a vote, to remove a certain minister that is not performing. Let the people of South Africa be the opposition and hold this government of national unity accountable, so that they perform and put South Africans first rather than lining their pockets with taxpayers' money. So I'm just going to read my thoughts from this point on, but I will also make commentary as I go along. Lest we forget, one of the parties rejecting the government of national unity told South African blank in the eye that when the party wins elections, South Africans will never be put first. That's the EFF, by the way. Now, they're saying that the government of national unity's proposal does not put South Africans first. In my mind, I was like, but you haven't given it a chance. How is it doing so? Because you told us we will never be put first. What I think ought to happen is all political parties that made it to parliament should give this national government of national unity a chance. It's a good proposal. They must not fall in the trap of the ANC trying to expose them, because that's another thing that the ANC is doing, is exposing them. Instead of them saying, okay, what do you have in mind? Let's rather fight over positions of who should take the ministry off and the ministry off, rather than rejecting this whole thing as a whole without giving it a chance. However, the talks must be facilitated. This is my proposal. However, the talks must be facilitated by a retired Constitutional Court Justice. I recommend DCJ, that is Deputy Chief Justice Musaneke. If Sisi Khampepe was alive, I would have suggested her or recommended her. In this agreement, a legal document must be drafted and signed by all political parties that will form government of national unity, which speaks to any political party that deliberately and actively jeopardizes the government of national unity, like what we see in the metros in Johannesburg, in Ekurhuleni, and in Pretoria, that never happens in the government of national unity. Such party must be criminally held liable. No party must act superior over the others, DA, compromise or improvise their respective policies to best serve the people of South Africa, aka putting South Africans first. Formulate an independent body that is given teeth to investigate, arrest, and prosecute any member of parliament or the executive accused of corruption, specifically, or I said specifically for members of parliament and cabinet ministers at national and provincial structures or legislatures. I also propose that the size of the cabinet be reduced to at least 22 executive members. Not this ridiculous 39, or is it 39 or 40 cabinet ministers and deputy ministers, where South Africa, I think, wastes about 3 billion. I stand corrected on this figure. It could be 1.9 billion or 3 billion rand every single month paying salaries of these bloated cabinet ministers and the president, deputy president. Let's consider this as South Africa starting from scratch. So basically, with the government of national unity, they should adopt the attitude that we are starting from scratch, right? The government of national unity must look into the issue of refugees, asylum seekers, and illegal immigrants that are in South Africa. South Africans were never explained who these people are and what is our responsibility for them and when are they going to leave once their countries have been put in place. There was never, ever an explanation. Therefore, South Africans were never even given a chance to breathe after 1994. Is the moment South Africa was democratic, suddenly we had people we don't know who they are. Nobody explained to us who they are, and some of them possess skills because they were child soldiers or soldiers in their respective countries. And we are seeing flames with the criminal activities that are taking place in our country, where a South African never went to school and learned how to put together a bomb to bomb a ATM machine or bomb a cash in transit vehicle. That is not a South African crime. Kidnappings are not a South African crime. Yet all these crimes are happening because some of the people that come from wherever they come from, they're coming to South Africa with those skills, and as a result of that, they are tormenting, terrorizing, and putting South Africans in the most unsafest position. So this new government needs to come and give us a clear picture of who are these people, what are they doing in our country, and how can we help. The other thing that this new government also need to look into is the strict restrictions on visa applications, particularly to our diasporan children, because the restrictions are ridiculous. Very ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I propose that the government of national unity should create a provision for African Americans to be declared or considered refugees or asylum seekers when they come to South Africa, so that those ones, they come with skills, others come with money, and they want to be in South Africa legally. So they'll be contributing positively into the South African economy. I propose that this government look into that. So the lines need to be clearly defined, because with the lines blurred like this, South Africans are finding themselves right at the back of the line in everything. Earlier on, I gave an example. You go to our hospitals, a South African gets turned away because they could not reach the doctor due to the number of people or patients that are at our hospitals. So, what this government needs to do, separate the lines. Just like if you fly into the United States, you have a line for when you get to TSA, you have a line for Americans, which is quite fast, and then you have lines for everyone else that are coming from outside the United States. So let's adopt that style in putting South Africans first. I continue to say formation of the executive. Now, this is my recommendation with the formation of the new government of national unity. Clearly, Ramaphosa returns as president of the country, unless the ANC decides otherwise. Reduce cabinet to 20 or 22 executive members. South Africa has a population of 64 million people, but it has a cabinet of over 37. That's ridiculous. Yet the United States has a population of over 300 million people, and the cabinet is 18, including the president and the vice president. Therefore, all I ask for, this is how I recommend the cabinet, the first 10 should look like. The Minister of Health must come from the DA or from MK. The Minister of Home Affairs must come from PA or MK. The Minister of Police must come from PA or EFF. The Minister of Arts and Culture, an artist. This is a person who is neither a member of any of these political parties that are going to form a government of national unity. Go for an artist, somebody that knows about art. You appoint them as Minister of Arts. Same goes with Minister of Sports. Separate arts and culture from sports, so that we do not have a situation where a minister takes the credit for the hard work that artists put together without the assistance of this government. Like how we saw Tyler snubbing, which was correct. That was a beautiful sight. Tyler snubbing, what's his name, Zizi Kodwa, from holding her Grammy, like as if he contributed something. What does Zizi Kodwa know anything about art? Was he ever an artist? Was he ever a sportsman? Playing golf is not being a sportsman. The Minister of Sports must also be a sportsman. Whether that is an athlete, a former rugby player, or former soccer player, somebody that has knowledge in sports and will take sports decisions regarding sports in parliament and creating policies that are going to be in the best interest of sportsmen in this country. Same goes with arts and culture. The Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources, this nonsense of having the Minister of Electricity must come to an end. And this one must come from the DA or must come from the EFF. The Minister of Public Enterprises from EFF. Minister of International Relations from EFF. Minister of Economic Development from the DA. The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development from either the EFF, that it would either be Dalimpofu or the recently fired public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane, or somebody from the DA. All right? Then, of course, the rest, which is 12, either 10 or 12 remaining cabinet positions, then go to the ANC. No deputy ministers, please. We spent too much money on a bloated government that ends up doing absolutely nothing for the people of South Africa. Minister of children and women and whatever nonsense that was, what have they done? What was the whole purpose of them? So that is my thought about these developments. It's my opinion, people. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong either. I'm just contributing towards this debate that is taking place currently. And let's see who puts South Africans first. There has to be somebody that is going to put South Africans first. But in my departure, I want to read section, what do you call it, chapter 1 of the Constitution, which is the founding provisions. I want to focus mostly on section 2, which is supremacy of the Constitution. This Constitution is the supreme law of the Republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by it must be fulfilled. Therefore, what I'm saying to the political parties that are rejecting the government of national unity, the Constitution, it implores you to put the people of South Africa first. And all this nonsense that you are busy, I don't know what is going on, guys. Seriously speaking, you are exposing yourself that you are not about the people of South Africa. And I'm talking to you, DA. I'm talking to you, EFF. I'm talking to you, PA. I'm talking to all those that are rejecting this proposal. Do not fall into the trap of Ramaphosa, because he's giving you a long rope to hang yourselves. And I am saying, while they are busy hanging themselves, the people of South Africa be observant, so that in 2026, we know who we are going to vote for. People that are going to put us first, not because they are looking for positions of power. And ANC, if you really want to revive your party, I'm telling you right now, as long as young people do not see themselves in your leadership, as long as young people do not see themselves in your list of members of parliament, as long as young people feel like the boomers, the baby boomers, and some Gen Xers, they are selling the country out, you will never see the light of day with 50% of any elections going forward, ever. I think you will still be winning elections at local government. That's what I believe. You will still be picking up wards. You will still be picking up seats in council houses, metro council houses, and things like that. But nationally, this was it for you in 2019. The buck stopped in 2019 for the ANC, until the ANC and any other political party that does not correctly read the political landscape of South Africa, which changes, by the way, almost every 3 or 6 months. Pay attention, and that's how you are going to revive your political party. If you are old and your political party is going to go through a convention or a conference or whatever it is that you call it, and old people take positions, that political party is doomed not to get voted into power in any election. So, ANC, if you have ears, here. If you don't, well, that's your own baby. Again, guys, this is my opinions. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. It's just my opinion. But other than that, guys, that is it. If you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking the channel and supporting it financially. I highly appreciate you. I will definitely, this video was all over the place because I thought, let me just speak from the heart instead of, let me just speak from the heart. This is my heart that has spoken, and I hope you accept my opinion. If you don't, cool. I have no issue with that. But you guys, we are watching. We are looking at who's putting us first. And that, guys, please leave a comment down below and also share this video far and wide. I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.